that's definitely a funeral. Holy shit, they're digging a grave.
Hey, Wonderhussy here, out in the middle of nowhere, Nevada, again. But it's not really the middle of nowhere. I'm in this beautiful, well, relatively lush valley called the Petroglyphs Valley at this little town called Alamo, Nevada, which is kind of, well, it's kind of halfway between Las Vegas and Area 51. Anyway, I've driven through Alamo many times. I've never really stopped other than to get gas and a quick snack at the convenience store. But, you know, here it is, Christmas 2020, right in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. And, well, I wasn't able to go home and see my mom, which I normally do for Christmas. So I decided to go for a little mini road trip with my friend Jessica. And we decided to go check out Alamo and see what's cool in the area, because it's one of those little towns that you just know there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. Not least of which is probably that a lot of people who work at Area 51 live here. Okay, well, we just rolled into this little motel here at the North Pole. I think it's called the Sunset View Motel. Is that what it's called? And they're very proud of the fact that there's a full liquor store on site in there by the office. But that's not the reason we wanted to stay here, actually. We wanted to stay here because the rooms are all themed, okay? It's not just your average little cheap roadside motel, which, by the way, we paid about $65 with taxes and everything for a double. So it's very reasonably priced, but the rooms are all themed, okay? They have all these crazy themes like under the sea and aliens and Egypt and, well, I'm not gonna lie, we wanted the alien room, but unfortunately it's a single. They don't have an alien themed double. So he gave us room number 12, which is apparently the Egyptian room. Ta-da! You can see they weren't kidding, it really is Egyptian themed. Very tasteful friezes on the wall. Scarabs artfully placed about. Really nice bedding, I mean, that's nice. A Bible, which they always had in ancient Egypt, as well as an ancient Egyptian microwave and refrigerator. But what's really amazing about this Egyptian room is the bathroom. Look at this. This is a deluxe bathroom for a cheap motel. First of all, you got, you know, your sink and your vanity with your black Egyptian cat and your Egyptian elephants and your Egyptian soaps and your towels, which I'm sure are made of Egyptian cotton. But the best part of it is there's a walk-in closet. Look at that. Wow, it's just perfect for all the clothes I brought with me for this overnight stay. Seriously though, I think this is pretty nice for $64, $68 or whatever it was I paid. But we don't want to spend too much time in the room right now because, well, sunsets are fading fast and we want to go into town and we want to go check out the cemetery. Oh my goodness, this town is just cute as can be.
Look how Christmassy it is here.
That's Jessica on the walkie-talkie. I think it's a Mormon town, like a little Mormon farming town, and it's just, gosh, everybody takes such pride in their properties, and the lawns are so tidy. Well, you know how Mormons are. Okay, wow, this cemetery is way out on the edge of town, such as it is. But it was really interesting to just drive through these back streets and see how these people live out here. It looks actually very pleasant. We're only about an hour and a half from Las Vegas, so, you know, if you needed to go do your big shopping or whatever, it wouldn't be an issue. But gosh, it feels like you're a world apart out here. This is so rural. I have no doubt all these kids are in the 4-H and the FFA and, oh gosh, they probably have all kind of fun out here. The good, clean, old-fashioned kind of fun.
Yeah, that's definitely a funeral. Holy shit, they're digging a grave.
Okay, yikes. I don't think we're going to be able to explore this cemetery like I wanted to because there's an actual funeral in process. I mean, they're digging a grave out of respect. I'm not going to shoot any footage of it, but what's interesting is on the way up here, we did pass a hearse and we commented on the fact that, you know, the hearse added to the surreality of the whole trip, which has been very weird so far. But I'll bet you anything that hearse was fresh from dropping a coffin into this cemetery. Well, gosh, maybe we'll come back to the cemetery in the morning. Okay, yikes. That is definitely the most awkward thing I've ever done in a video. Anyways, okay, plan B. Well, I don't think there's anywhere to eat here in general because it's a pretty small town. I don't know what the population is, but it's small. So I'm not even sure if there is a cafe in normal times. It being the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, there's almost certainly not going to be any place open to eat. And, well, I like a challenge anyway, so I'm going to go to the only store in town, which is a convenience store at the gas station. And I'm going to see what they have to eat and try to buy some stuff to take back to the room for dinner. Oh, well, look at the little high school. I mean, I guess that high school serves kids from all over the place. I mean, I remember one time I was up in Rachel, Nevada, right outside Area 51 at the Little Ailey Inn, little bar that's up there. And I was talking to the bartender, and she was saying that her kids went to school here in Alamo. And actually, well, I guess her kids started kind of a commotion because they were high schoolers, and she used to always give them condoms to make sure they practiced safe sex. And then all the nice Mormon kids in town, well, their parents would never give them condoms, but you know how it is with teenagers. Teenagers will be teenagers, and so all the kids in town would ask her kids for condoms. And so she basically, through her kids, was supplying the whole town with condoms. And then one day, according to this bartender, one day the principal of the high school found the condom in the purse of one of the students who was the daughter of a judge in town, I think. So it turned out to be a big deal because she told him where she got it, and they called this woman in, this bartender from the Little Alien, and gave her a talking to. It reminds me of that song Harper Valley PTA. I want to tell you all a story about the Harper Valley widowed wife. Remember that song where they dressed that single mom down because she's not raising her kids right? Okay, bummer. I just saw a diner, but it was closed, so yeah, I guess I'm gonna be going to the old convenience store, and well, I think this might be it right here. Okay, it looks like this is actually more than a convenience store. This is kind of like a mini market for this town. So, well, I might be in luck. I might be able to find something marginally nutritious that tastes good and that I can prepare with just a microwave. Oh, wow, look at all their awesome Christmas art. I love it. Ebenezer Scrooge. Oh, how cute. Great Basin Foods. What do I want? Oh, it looks like they normally have some kind of diner here. Darn it, COVID. Oh, wow, look, they have nice food here. Really good salads, smoothies. Oh, ambrosia, wait a minute. That might be better. Okay, well, I actually ended up finding something pretty healthy to eat for dinner in there. I got this healthy choice chicken and vegetables, and then I got an extra bag of vegetables on top of it. Since we do have a microwave in our room, you know, extra veggies, extra vitamins. But then I thought, well, since I am in a Mormon town, I mean, one simply doesn't stay in a Mormon town without, well, at least having something Mormon with dinner. So it was a tough call. They had a lot of delicious looking jelloed desserts, but I got this pistachio delight. Jessica just informed me she brought a bottle of champagne. Well, I have a feeling it's going to pair excellently with this pistachio delight. Okay, let's get back to the room and cook some dinner. Ooh, that must be where the rich guy in town lives. Oh, that looks like their daughter's coming back from a mission. They had a big banner in their front yard that said, "Welcome, sister something, blah, 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 from your mission." You know how Mormon kids go, well, when they turn 19, they go abroad for 2 years to proselytize. Okay, I like these historical markers because sometimes they tell you a little bit about the area. And since I don't seem to know anything about Alamo, as evidenced by my half-cocked rambling, I better read this sign. It says, Pahranagat Valley is named after the local Shoshone Native American tribe. Local springs that fill lakes, which farmers have used for irrigation since the mid-19th century. In the late 1860s, outlaws pastured hundreds of head of stolen cattle in these valley meadows. Then they discovered ore in the area, and then there was a stamp mill established in Hyco, 20 miles away. So I guess back in the mining days, it was kind of a well, kind of the place to be. Oh, and then it says, this valley received international notoriety in 1867 when Dan DeQuille of the Territorial Enterprise published an article titled The Rolling Stones of Pahranagat about magnetic traveling stones. Well, DeQuille was notorious for publishing comedy and satire, sometimes mistaken by his readership for truth. So he was kidding. Basically, he wrote a joke article saying there was these mysterious round stones that had a magical quality.
I almost fell for it. I was excited for a minute.
I know, me too. I went, wait a minute, how come I never heard of these? What? Mysterious magnetic stones.
Magical
Wow.
stones? They're gonna stick together? Damn it, Dan.
Dan DeQuille. Okay, well, whatever.
Dan
Back on the road. I love the way we're coming to this place for one night, less than 12 hours, and we each have 5 bags. Finally! No one ever said I was low maintenance. Uh-oh, Jessica brought party lights. What do these do? Let's see. Oh, wow. Oh, no, look. Wow, man, we just took ancient Egypt to a whole nother level. You know what that means? Better put the do not disturb on the door. Oh, okay, well, wait. Before I start drinking champagne, I'll show you that liquor store. It's right here. Well, we don't need liquor because we brought plenty between the two of us, but how cool is this? Oh, she got the lights off now, look. Oh, wow, look at that. Far out. All right, changed into my pajamas, and now it's time for a little champagne. Cheers. Thanks for bringing the champagne, Jessica.
Yeah.
What are you having for dinner?
I'm having Amy's gluten-free organic bean and rice burrito.
Did you say Amy's?
I did.
Wow, I happen to be a big fan of Amy's line
I'm
of
a
fine
big fan
products.
of Amy's too.
No, really, I have a viewer who works for Amy's, and she sent me this coffee mug, and well, here's looking at you, Paula. Dinner time. Got my veggies and my sweet and sour chicken. It's pretty good. Microwave worked well. How was your dinner?
It was delicious.
How was your champagne?
Even better.
Are you enjoying this little vacation?
Staycation, all I ever wanted. Vacation, Alamo getaway.
Ah! Yummy. That wasn't bad for a meal cooked in a microwave in a cheap motel room. But now that my entree's done, well, you know what that means. It's time for that delicious green pistachio delight. Look at it. It's quivering. Kind of like the way I'm quivering with anticipation to try it. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's real creamy. Let's see if it tastes as good as it looks. What's the matter, Jessica? Is this food disturbing you?
It's so moist.
It's too moist?
It's so moist.
You can't handle the moistness?
It's so wiggly.
Mmm. Wow, it's actually really good. I got Jessica turned on to Mormon food. She looked up Mormon food culture and she's reading all about it. She had no idea about this stuff.
It's a whole new world.
It is. That being said, this pistachio delight it's actually pretty good. It's basically just Cool Whip with, I guess, green food coloring, and it tastes like there's actual little bits of pistachio in it.
Would you say it's delightful?
I'm not sure I'd go that far. There's marshmallow in it. I just tasted a marshmallow. It does taste like there's some kind of fruit matter in it. I wouldn't go so far as to say it has any nutritional value, but it's not terrible. But I couldn't handle any more of that pistachio mess, so I threw it away and made some cocoa instead. Just a little bedtime drink before sleep because we've got a busy schedule tomorrow. We're gonna go explore some more stuff in Alamo. After this, it's lights out. Well, okie dokie. It's the next morning. Spent a very pleasant, cozy night in that motel room. It's a really comfortable bed, actually. Nice blankets, everything top notch for the price. I would definitely recommend staying here at the Sunset View Inn if you happen to be traveling through this part of the country. But Jessica and I are packing up our cars now because we've got some other stuff we want to check out before we leave this charming little town. And the first stop is going to be the cemetery. Remember, there was that funeral going on last night, so well, it just didn't seem polite to shoot any video. But hey, if we go over there now, we can also pay our respects at the fresh grave. Okay, we're back, and looks like there's no funerals in progress at this time. Okay, I don't even know if this is like a historic cemetery. I just sort of assumed it would be, you know, like pioneer graves, but gosh, now that I'm looking around, it looks like it's pretty much a modern cemetery. Oh wow, yeah, there's the fresh grave. That's what we saw them burying yesterday. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's just take a look at some of these graves. Died in 1950. Oh, died in 1946. Oh man, this is kind of gloomy. I don't know, I just wanted to see if there was like any historic graves here, and well, alright, well I guess I'll consider my respects having been paid and roll on. Okay, heading back from the cemetery through town. There's one kind of interesting thing down here. This is like a county building here, this white building with the sheriff's truck parked in front of it. And what's interesting is there's this white school bus parked in front of it. I'm pretty sure that's the bus they use to take people that work at Area 51 to work. I think I saw it in a video that if you ever watched that channel Explore With Us, they did a video here where they were actually doing what I'm doing, shooting video of this bus, and then the police came out and tried to make them turn their cameras off, and it turned into this huge confrontation. Well, I'm non-confrontational, so I'm just gonna get out of here before the cops show up. But it's just kind of interesting, you know? That bus goes to Area 51 every day. Yikers. Okay, our next stop is we're gonna go check out some petroglyphs that are supposed to be right outside town. Wow, what an epic view. These petroglyphs are located right on the edge of, well, it's called Delamar Dry Lake Bed, but it's also known as Texas Dry Lake, because I guess from above, if you look at a satellite image, it's kind of shaped like the state of Texas. Okay, these petroglyphs are somewhere on these rocks over to the left, but I'm not really exactly sure where. I think I found it. Driving along looking at this rock outcropping, and I noticed there's one of these brown archaeological site etiquette signs here. So that indicates that there's got to be petroglyphs somewhere around here, but I don't see anything. Okay, let me just climb around here, see what I see. One thing I do see from up here is an amazing overlook at this Delamar, aka Texas Dry Lake. Look at this. You know, there's actually a couple of really interesting things about this dry lake. First, oh gosh, about 10 years ago, I think it was Honda, the car company, did I don't know if it was a commercial or some kind of promotional stunt where they attached some kind of blade onto the wheel of some kind of Honda, and they drove around the lake bed and carved out the words "Happy Birthday," because there was some astronaut that was up in the space shuttle, or space station, and it was his birthday, and I guess his daughter wanted to wish her dad a happy birthday. So with the cooperation from these people from Honda, they drove around and carved out the words "Happy Birthday, Dad" so big that supposedly the astronaut could see it from space. That was years ago, though, and I'm sure the rains have washed that message away a long time ago. Okay, and the other interesting thing about this dry lake is there used to be an emergency landing strip for the X-15. Okay, it's like some kind of top secret supersonic jet that flew out of Groom Lake, Area 51. And I guess in case they had to make an emergency crash landing, well, there was a landing strip out here, and I guess they called it Little Texas because of the fact that the dry lake bed was shaped like the state of Texas. How about that? I don't know if there's anything left of that landing strip, because I think that was back in the 50s and 60s. So again, I'm sure the weather's washed it all away, but just another interesting factoid about awesome Delamar Dry Lake. Okay, enough yakking. I gotta find these dang petroglyphs. Man, me and Jessica just spent like the last probably hour hiking up all around all this whole rock formation. And when you know it, I'm pretty sure the petroglyphs we were looking for were right at the bottom of the trail by the sign. Okay, there's the sign, and right next to it, I mean, in our defense, it's partially because they're not that well defined of petroglyphs. So apparently that's the petroglyphs. Woo! Okay, well, I don't like to say anything is a disappointment, but I don't know, man. I've seen more exciting petroglyphs. And in fact, Jessica said there's another site not too far from here that has more petroglyphs. And, well, it might be closed because of COVID, but we're going to go try to check that out before we hit our last stop on the trip. And whether or not we find these petroglyphs, the last stop is going to be a doozy. Oh, wait, before we leave, I forgot I was going to drive out onto the dry lake bed and just kind of blaze around for a minute. If you've never driven around a dry lake bed, it's really surreal. It's just this giant, flat expanse. And you can pretty much just go as fast as you want. And you don't really have to worry about there being any obstacles. Whee! Let's do donuts. Hopefully you're not getting motion sickness. Look, Mom, I'm an X15. Wow! Darn it! Coronavirus strikes again. I guess they have this other petroglyph area closed off. Looks like we're not going to be able to see any petroglyphs after all. Oh well, that's okay. We still have one more stop on our itinerary. And like I said, it's a doozy. And well, it's the whole reason I came on this trip in the first place. That's right. Had to come back to Stonehenge. Now, Jessica and I actually came here yesterday because besides there being a miniature full-size replica of Stonehenge, there's also a ton of other weird stuff at this location, and I made a whole video about that. But we were here yesterday, which was December 19th, and well, guess what? The Winter Solstice is tonight at 2 a.m. So we're close enough. And, well, since we're at Stonehenge, almost on the Winter Solstice, well, it just seems silly not to stop and put on some kind of little ceremony. Now, a side note, when I made the video here yesterday, I had no idea what this place was all about, and you can see that in the video. I'm constantly going, holy cow, what is this place? Well, I looked it up online and found out, you'll be happy to know, it is a dump, and the property is owned by this waste management company out of Vegas called Western Elite. I guess they don't take residential trash, but they take like a lot of industrial trash, like from casinos and stuff. So that's where they ended up with a lot of the weird stuff they have in their collection. And apparently that whole abandoned Santa's Village that I explored in my video is usually open to to invited guests during the Christmas season. I think you just have to email them and get on their invitation list, and well, you can come check it out for yourself next Christmas. But here it is, 2020. Christmas is kind of a bust this year, but the solstice should be just fine. Now, one way I found out some of the information about this place is, well, by gum, I was so distracted by this alien up here that I friggin' failed to notice. There's actually a little vending machine here, and it actually addresses the winter solstice in this pamphlet. It says, Starlight Avenue is the only formal entrance to Stonehenge. This avenue points directly to the sunset on the winter solstice, December 21st. Okay, well, I don't see a sign that says Starlight Avenue, but this is pretty clearly the main entrance, if there is an entrance. And, well, remember, it says in the pamphlet that this avenue points directly to the sunset on the winter solstice. So, I don't know, man, there's the avenue. And the sun is just slightly off center. I can't imagine that one day, less than a day, is going to make that much difference. But if you look down here, it is marked December. That's January and November. That's February and October and so on. I guess the sun sets Like if you were here in February or October, the sun would set between these two pillars. If you were here between March and September, between these pillars, and so on. And so it is pretty accurate because it's December and the sun is setting, sorry about the glare, between those two pillars. It's kind of neat. I'm not saying it was aliens, but aliens stole my cloak. It being the solstice and me being at Stonehenge, I thought it would be appropriate to wear a cloak. And Jessica has one too. Okay, I thought I was cool because I had a cloak, but look at this. Let's see your cloak, Jessica. Oh my gosh. That's cloaky. Wow, look at her headdress and her hair. Oh my goodness. Stevie Nicks, eat your heart out. Hurry, we're gonna miss the solstice.
Oh
Get
my
that
gosh,
cloak on.
okay, all right, it's on.
Reals, we are gonna miss the sunset. Look, it's just about to go over the mountain there. Gotta get in there and watch it go through those pillars. There it goes. Wow, this is so amazing. Okay, yes, I am easily amused, but look, there's that starlight walk and there's the sun setting directly in front of it. By gum, they weren't kidding. Happy solstice, Charlie Brown. Loo, 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 loo. Yeah, they're doing some construction back there. It kind of kills the vibe, but...
It's like our primal drums.
Oh, my hood fell off. Hold on. I'm not doing Stevie Nicks proud. My bad. Sorry, Rhiannon. Well, here we are. How does it feel?
Short.
Yeah.
Like shortest day of the year, short.
Well, look at your cloak lining. That's nice.
Yeah.
I just said I felt like we were playing Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, and I also forgot to mention that it happens to be the Jerusalem star, okay? You know, it's like Saturn and Venus or something are both going to appear in the sky at the same time and like make one big bright star. This is the first time it's happened in 600 years, okay? And it happens to be happening right now, tonight. So we really picked a doozy of a time to come here. Jessica's getting her camera set up because she's going to take some, well, let me show you. She's got these really cool LED light sticks that she's going to do some super cool photos with. Okay, here's one of the light, what do you call them again?
Tubes.
Light tubes, and who makes them?
Eric Paré and Kim Henry.
All right, let's see it. Turn it on. Whoa, now do something badass with it.
I'm gonna
Defeat evil.
Yeah.
Come on, you're in Stonehenge wearing an elf costume. You've waited your whole life for this moment, Jessica.
We're gonna see what we can do with it.
Oh wow, look, they turned these colored lights on. This is amazing. Look how cool this looks. I guess these lights come on every day at a certain time. Okay, we're almost done with the photos. But before it gets too dark, I don't know, you probably can't even see, but that Christmas star, Star of Nazareth, is up there in the sky, right above Stonehenge. Oh man, I don't think you can see it. My camera's not good enough. Wow, this is like the greatest way to spend the solstice ever. I'm so glad I came on this trip. And well, I'll definitely be back to Stonehenge of the desert and to Alamo.